Hello everyone, in this video we will see one of the C program to print a particular type of pattern. So let's see what is the question. So basically you will be given a input and you have to print a pattern based on that input. Okay. So we have seen one question based on the pattern in my previous video. So you can check out that video. Okay. So now let's see this question. So here if you give number of rows as the input, let's say here you give number of rows as 3, okay, then you should get this type of pattern, okay, like this pattern is following something like this structure, okay, like triangle like structure, okay, 1 star, then in second row 2 star, then in third row like 3 star, right? Same way, if you give number of rows as 4, that you want to print 4 rows and you have to print a particular type of pattern which will have 4 rows. Okay, this is meant by this number of rows. Okay, 4 rows and it should follow a particular pattern. Pattern is like this one. Okay, you can see this triangle type. Okay, right? So in first row you should get 1 star. In second row you should get 2 star. In third row, okay, you should get 3 stars, and in row number 4 you should get 4 stars. Okay, and in same way if you have like you are giving the input number of rows as 5, then there should be fifth row also which should have how many stars? It should have 5 stars, right? So this is the like pattern is like in row number 1 1 star, row number 2 2 star, row number 3 then 3 star, row number 4 4 star, and row number 5 5 star. Same way if row number 6 is there, then there should be 6 star. Okay, so this is the pattern, right? So how many number of rows you have to print, it depends on the user. Okay, that is what is the input given by the user. Okay, and if the user, let's say, give number of rows as 0, that means he does not want to print any row. Okay, then there should be no output, no printing of the star should be happening. Okay, I hope you have understand what is the input and what type of pattern as the output should come. Okay, so to understand this question, it is better that you should know how we can print this type of pattern. For example, if you are given number of rows and number of column as the input by the user, then a pattern should be printed like this. Okay. So for example, here number of rows 3, number of column 4. Okay. So number of rows you can see this is first row, this is second row, and this is third row, right? And columns are 4. So this is like column, this is this. Yeah? This is column 1. Okay. And this is like again column 2, same way column 3 and column 4. Okay. So 3 rows, okay, 3 rows and 4 columns, okay. And let's say if I say 2 rows, 3 columns, then this means that there should be 2 rows, okay, and each row there should be 3 stars, right? So there should be 3 stars in each row. This is row number 1. Then in next row again 3 stars. So total how many rows? 2 rows, 1 row, okay, and then this is second row. And how many columns? 3 columns. Okay, so then this type of pattern should come. Okay, so this I have explained in my previous video. You can watch that video. You will find the link in the video description or here in the tag card also. Okay, so let's go with our current question. Okay, so I will make a small change in the code of this program. Okay, and then we can easily get the code for this type of pattern which we are discussing now. Okay, so let's see. So we have seen in our previous video that to print this type of pattern, this was the code. Okay, so we are getting the number of rows and number of columns from the user, and then to print this type of pattern, this is the generalized code. Okay, so this I have already explained, so I'm not going to explain this is again in more detail. But based on that only, with slight modification in this code only, I will make the program for my current pattern. Okay, so let's see. So we have seen in our previous video that if we want to print these type of patterns, okay, so in general we should take care of some of the things, right? So the thing is like we will be getting number of rows and number of columns as the input from the user, okay, and it depends, like sometime, like for example in our previous question for this we were getting the number of rows and number of columns from the user, right? And in my current program, okay, that we are going to discuss there, we will see that there is no need of the number of columns to be asked from the user. Okay, we'll see. But in general, there will be rows and columns, okay, as the input from the user. Then in this pattern question, we have to see that when we have to put the new line character, that is when we have to change the row. And you will also see in my upcoming video that we should take care of the spaces also. Sometimes we need to print spaces also to follow a particular pattern. Okay, this we will see in next video. Okay, and then we have to see or we have to like take care of this thing that printing happens row wise, and wherever the cursor is, then only the printing will happen. Okay, so we have discussed in our previous video that our monitor screen or the output screen, you can say, okay, it will be like divided into rows and columns. Okay, and based on this fact, we will print this pattern. So basically, these are the rows. Okay, this whole is one row. Okay, then this is second row. Okay, then this is third row, and so on. Same way, this is my one column. Okay, this is my column. Okay, column one. Then this is like column two. Then column three, and same way. Okay. So initially, my cursor will be here, and we saw in our previous video that let's say if you have to print this pattern. So here, how many rows are there? So here there is first row, second row, and third row. Row 3. And how many columns are there? So in each row, how many stars are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, right. So there are basically, you can say this is first column. Okay, this is second column. This is third column. This is fourth column. So here column 4. Okay, so in this, so if user keep row 3 and column 4, then this pattern, okay, this pattern should be printed. So we saw that, okay, row number 3, column 4, okay, and then we saw how we printed this, right? So now let's see how we can print our pattern based on some modification in this code. So we saw in our previous video that this particular part, okay, this for loop, this inner for loop, it was helping us to print a particular row, okay? Like for example, if you want to print a row, this row, then this code was helping us, right? So same way, if you want to print this row, okay, any row, if you want to print, this was the general code, right? So this, if you see, in each row, how many columns we have to print? Basically, whatever the number of column is given by the user, the same number of star we are printing in each row. Okay, row number 1 also, we are printing 4 star. Row number 2, again 4 star. Row number 3, again 4 star. So the number of stars in each row is equal to number of columns. Okay, that's why we were saying, okay, we have to print star, but how many times? Column number of times. Okay, so if column is 4, then 1 to 4, 4 times this loop will run, and then 4 star will be printed, right? Okay, but we have to repeat this code again and again. How many times? Okay, so basically, if it runs for the first time is, see, this was the uh, outer loop. Outer loop was saying, okay, this was saying I equal to 1. I equal to 1 means I equal to 1 means row number 1, right? Now for row number 1, this loop was running, and how many times it was running? 4 times. Then after running 4 times, this was printed, right? This was done, okay? And after that, what we want to do? We want to start printing for the second row, but second row means the next row. So we have to change the cursor. See, after printing the 4 star, after this loop, okay, my cursor will be something here, right? Something here. Then we want to change this cursor to here. That's why I have to put this new line. Okay. So before going for the I equal to 2, I was saying print slash n. That means move this cursor here. And then after moving this cursor, I equal to 2. Okay, I equal to 2. Then again this loop was like blindly following its own nature. That is, it was running again j equal to 1 to 4, and it was printing 4 star. Then again I said print as slash n. That means cursor will move here, and then I equal to 3, and then again I come here, it printed 4 stars, okay, then slash n, and after that when I equal to 4 happened, this loop was terminated, and then we came out. Now let's see how we can modify this code, and so that we can get our current pattern that we want to discuss in this video. So let's see how we can print this pattern, okay. So let me put this in our like row and column format. So let's say this is my pattern, okay. Now I have kept only 3 rows, okay, just for the simplicity, okay. So row equal to 3, okay, it will be given by the user. That means user says I want 3 rows, and the pattern should be printed. Okay, and pattern is given by your teacher or let's say someone else. That pattern should be like this. Okay, that means first row 1 star, second row 2 star, third row 3 star. Right? Okay. Now difference between this pattern and this pattern is, you can tell me what is the difference. This is row 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see only this part. Okay, let's ignore this fourth row. Okay, row 3 and here column are 4. Okay, in this, in each row, we are just printing 4 stars, right? But here, although user say row equal to 3, that means he want 3 rows, same as here. But here, the number of stars are not equal in each row. They are different. In first row, they are 1. In second row, they are 2. In third row, we have to print only 3 stars. And basically, this is the only difference. Here, in each row, the number of stars, they are dependent on the row number. Okay. So, if row number 1 is there, only 1 star. Row number 2, 2 star. Row number 3, 3 star. Okay. So, number of stars to be printed in each row, they are dependent on row number. Okay. And we have seen in our previous video or here also, see how we are keeping track of the current row number. See, total rows are like this variable. Okay. But I equal to 1 means we are at the row number 1. I equal to 2 means we are at row number 2. Okay, so this I is keeping track of the current row number. So basically, if I am at I equal to 1, then how many stars I have to print? 1. If I am at I equal to 2, then 2 star. Then I equal to 3, then 3 star. Okay, so again, this printing of the stars, it will be handled by the loop only. Okay, same, if I am at I equal to 2, that is second row, I have to just modify my loop of printing the star in such a way so that it prints only 2 star. If I am at I equal to 1, then that loop, inner loop, which prints star, it should only print 1 star. So if you see in this code, okay, can you tell me which is the part of the code which is printing the star first? So this was the code, right? Only this part, it was printing stars in each row, right? Now here we have given the number of columns, right? Number of columns, okay? But in this program, we are not giving the number of columns, okay? You can give the number of columns in this program also, but if you see, the number of column by default in this program will be equal to whatever row you have given. See, because at last I equal to 3, how many stars we have to print? 3 star. Okay, so they are like, if you want to see or if you want to give, then you can give like number of column also as 3. But basically they are not needed. Okay, columns as such is not needed. Only this is sufficient. Okay. So now this loop should not run this column times. First thing, I should remove this. Okay. How many times it should run? It is dependent on the current row number. Okay. If I equal to 1, only 1 star. I equal to 2, 2 star. That means who is keeping track of the current row number? See, I. So if you are making the program for the first time, you can say here I should be used. Okay. Basically, this is correct. And this is our whole program. And this program will perfectly print this pattern. So let's see in more detail. So basically, see this part, this outer loop, it will not change. Why? See, this is just saying that I have to run row number of times. See how many rows I have to iterate or I have to go through. See, row 3 are there, and I have to go through 3 rows. Right? I equal to 1, I equal to 2, I equal to 3. Okay. The number of stars, that responsibility is of this thing. Okay, the number of stars that we have to print, okay, that is handled by this loop is saying I am not printing the number of stars. Number of stars printing is handled by this. Okay, so I have to just iterate row number of times. So I will not change. So this will be like this only. I equal to 1, I dash equal to row. So if row is 3, then it will just iterate 3 times. So let's see. So if I equal to 1, okay, for the first time I equal to 1, here we will come. Okay, now this loop will print how many stars? This loop should print only one star for the row number 1. For the current row number, that is I equal to 1, it should print how many stars? It should print only one star, right? So now see, if I equal to 1, only I times. So currently I is equal to 1. Okay. So here I equal to 1. So from j equal to 1 to I equal to 1. Okay. That means this loop will run how many times? This loop will run only one time. Okay. So for the first time, 1 is less than equal to 1. Yes. So 1 star will be printed. So I am printing here 1 star. Okay. This is for I equal to 1. Right. Now next time this loop will run and j will be now 2. Now 2 is less than I equal to 1? No. So basically j equal to 1 was here, right? Okay. Now j is 2. So that means we are here. So j equal to 2. But we do not have to print anything here, right? So that's why this loop will also be false. 2 is less than equal to 1? No. So this loop will not run. We will come here and we will say printer slash, right? So we will come here. Now our cursor is here, okay, and now we will go above. Now we will say I equal to 2. That means row number 2. I equal to 2, row number 2. Now in row number 2, we have to print 2 star. Okay, so we will first check whether we are crossing the row number or not. Okay, my current row is 2. 2 is less than my this 3. Yes, I am not crossing my this row. Okay, so I will come here. Now for this I equal to 2. So here this I variable will be set to 2. Now this loop will run independently and it will say j equal to 1 to j less than 2. So how many times it will run? It will run for j equal to 1, j equal to 2. At j equal to 3, this loop should be false. So this loop will run 2 times. Simple. I think you can run this loop 2 times by yourself, right? So for the first time when j is 1, okay, when j is 1 is less than 2, yes. So this loop will print this star, right? Again it will go and j will be like again 2. So j will be 2. J will be 2. Now 2 is less than I is 2 only. So 2 is less than equal to 2? Yes. So this loop will again print star. Print star. Now I cursor will be here. Now again this loop will run and say j equal to 3. J equal to 3. Now j is 3. 3 is less than 2? No. So what should happen? I should come here and I should move this cursor. That is slash n. So slash n. Okay. Then here I should go and I should say now I is 3. So I is 3. That means I am. And here again 3 is less than equal to 3. Yes, I should come here and simple I should say I equal to 3. And now this loop will run how many times? 3 times. Because here I is 3, then 3 stars should be printed. Okay, so j equal to 1, j equal to 2, j equal to 3. Okay, for each j, this 3 stars should be printed. So here I is 3, so from 1 to 3. Okay, so j equal to 1, j equal to 2, j equal to 3. This loop will be okay, true. So this will print star. This will print 1, 2, 3. Simple. And after that, again, slash n. And after that, I equal to 4, which is like 4 is less than equal to 3, which is false. So my loop will terminate and I will come out. Okay, because my other loop is false. Okay? And then my program will print this pattern. Right? I hope you have understood. So this is a final code snippet for printing this type of pattern. Okay. So the idea was my inner loop, which prints the star in each row, it is controlled by the current row number. Right? Current row number. This one. Okay, current row number. So now if somebody says I want to like start the row number from 0. Okay, I equal to 0. Same way my column should start from 0. Okay, I should say I equal to 0. This is I equal to 1. This is I equal to 2. Same way this I should say this is column number 0. This is column 1, column 2. Okay, this is also okay. Okay, then how we should modify this program? Then simply if I'm starting from like I equal to 0, then this equal to should be removed. So see here, this is the code. Okay, same way if I am starting from j equal to 0, then I should run like one lesser number of times. I should not run for the equal times. Okay, simple. Okay. Now both are correct. Okay. Now it is up to you which things you want to follow. So I have asked the enter number of rows from the user. Okay. And then here we are printing. Okay. the same code that we have just discussed. Okay, so here you can see j is less than equal to I. Okay, so let's run this program. So if I enter number of rows as let's say 3. Okay, so see 3 rows are printed. Okay, following our pattern. And if I want to let's say print number of rows as 5, then 5 rows are there following our pattern. Okay. And if I let's say enter number of rows as 0, that means I do not want to print anything. Okay, then nothing should come as the output. Okay, same way if you enter negative input for the number of rows, then also nothing should come. Okay, and I think you can just go, you know, why it should not print anything. Okay, if row is negative, then this outer loop will itself be terminated. It will not go inside. Okay. So I hope you have liked the video and you have understood the solution. If you have any question, comment, suggestion, please write down to the comment box. See you in the next video with the another pattern. And this will be our next pattern. So see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.